Hey guys, George here. Today what I'm going to do is bring to you a video about squad leader in the computer. Actually, it's not about squad leader in the computer. It is about my favorite all-time tactical war games played on a computer. Some of them have an AI and some of them don't, but I'll go over them. As you can see, you already have a preview of Combat Mission 2, Barbarossa to Berlin. I'll talk to you about it. Now, forgive me if I came close to not having any video this week and publishing a video late. Yesterday we had the aftermath of a tropical storm, and it barreled its way north towards our neck of the woods, and mountains turned into lakes, and I found out I had an indoor swimming pool, much to my surprise, and hopefully we're going to prevail from out of this challenge, and good things are going to come out of it. And in Greek culture, you got the saying that every obstacle has a sunnier side on the other end. We'll see. I can tell you, if it wasn't for Lieutenant Colonel Dan Palcaldi shouting out Leonidas of ASL, I would have not been in any position to do a video today, let alone play squad leader. Anywho, top 5, I suppose, in no particular order, of my favorite tactical computer war games. And I can tell you that for a fact that I've played these games possibly more often than I did Advanced Squad Leader, because they were more convenient to play and more easy to set up. And throughout I guess my marriage, then it was more easy to play a computer game for 45 minutes than to set up ASL and struggle trying to find an opponent. And I didn't have ASL, by the way. I only had COI and SL at the time, and some starter kits. So it was still a convenient drug, so to speak. So Combat Mission 2, Barbarossa to Berlin, I found that game in a computer store at Place Ville Marie a long time ago, and at the time I had a putt-putt computer. My actual computer broke down, or I had to upgrade, and I upgraded, lo and behold, to a Vista computer, and there was issues with the operating system and the way that this game got along. But before any issue arose, I got a couple of good gameplays with Combat Mission 2, Barbarossa to Berlin. And of course it appealed to me because it covers the Eastern Front during World War II, Russian versus German, and I played both sides. Here actually there's the playable nations are Germany, Soviet Union, Romania, Hungary, Finland, Poland, and Italy. I didn't know that. However, with Combat Mission 2, Barbarossa to Berlin, it was a pretty interesting game. The graphics were really realistic. Of course, they did not include any signage that was inappropriate, so the game can be sold in Germany and where other symbols of that nature are forbidden. But that's not the important aspect. The important aspect is it was a real-time simulation. However, how it operates is that you play one side. I'm not too sure if there's a head-to-head mode, but there is hot seat and email and TCP/IP. I've never gotten the opportunity to play it against a live opponent. I've only played it against the AI. And basically what you do is you give each unit a command, and then you execute the turn, and the action unfolds simultaneously. So It's similar to Squad Leader in the sense that there is a time scale, which is, I believe, in Squad Leader it's 2 minutes per turn. So you actually give out the orders, and then both sides execute the orders, and you see the consequences of your commands, and sometimes they are followed, sometimes they are not followed, sometimes you see units breaking, and the AI was quite decent back in those days. Now, going back to that computer game, or any other computer game for that matter, um, doesn't seem plausible to me because, first and foremost, in order to play games on a decent game on a computer, you got to have a high-end computer with a graphics card, um, and a large amount of memory, and do that so you can have an immersive and good experience. So, other than from time to time playing Second Front, it ain't it. Maybe Close Combat as well. Speaking of Close Combat, that's my second um, favorite tactical game of all time. Close Combat was developed as a computer version of the acclaimed Avalon Hill board game Advanced Squad Leader. The primary consultant for the morale model was Dr. Steven Silver, a specialist in combat-related trauma. Atomic Games had already developed several games for Avalon Hill, such as Operation Crusader and Stalingrad. Now, having said this, okay, having played Close Combat from the first game to more recent games, so this is how my Close Combat experience came up. First and foremost, in 1997, around in the late 1990s, I did buy Operation Martin Garden, and I was uh, blown away by it. I think at that time it was still called, it was still part of Atomic Games as opposed to uh, Microsoft, but I could be wrong. I was blown away by it because it's a real-time simulation. In this case, you really have to hustle to get from one end of the screen to the other and check on your units as to what they're doing. Are they defending? Are they being attacked? Are they being obliterated? You hear sounds, combat sounds, and that gives you a hint as to where the action is taking place, and you got to go and right-click on your unit, give it a command, and whatnot. So Operation Market Garden was superb, and I had been playing it for a while. And the actual game, back in those days, from Atomic, came in a box. I had the box for the longest amount of time, but now I really don't know where it is. It didn't survive the test of time. And it came with a hexagonal map. Am I thinking of the right game? Maybe not. Maybe not. That was another game. Yeah, that was another game. You might be thinking of another game. But basically, this is it. It's you heard it here. Now, you heard it here. Dr. Steven Silver, Advanced Squad Leader in the computer. This is what was being presented as such. Although there was another video game by Avalon Hill that attempted to make Squad Leader a computer game that did not receive a lot of acclaim. I was pretty happy with the experience of playing the Close Combat series, and still am. The only drawback to Advanced Squad Leader or Close Combat, see, I got confused. The only drawback with Close Combat is sometimes there's wacky movement, and the AI may not be too strong. If you're playing the attacker, all is fine and dandy, but if you're playing the defender, you might have a standoff where no action takes place throughout the game. Other than that, the morale, the unit morale, and the subsequences to breaking your morale and whatnot are well modeled in this game. You got to have a little bit of patience with it, but at the end of the day, it's a decent tactical war game, and as you can see, it has evolved and gone to remakes. A Bridge Too Far. I think that's the original one that I had. 4 of the 5 original games, A Bridge Too Far, Russian Front, and The Battle of the Bulge, Invasion Normandy have since been remade. Well, if they since have been remade and I rebought it, it kind of makes me confused as to what the heck was going on. Now, another game that was excellent was Battlefield 1942. Now, you're actually playing a first-person shooter. You're not playing in terms of a squad leader where you're commanding a squad, but you could online form a squad and with different players and take on your opponents. So I had discovered how to play against the AI. The AI was not that magnificent. It was good, but it wasn't excellent. And eventually, there was another program that I acquired that was in conjunction to this one. You used it in conjunction to the game. It's called TeamSpeak, and you would be able to talk to the other players remotely. And now this is happening in consoles throughout on all servers. But back then, it was a novelty to be able to talk to another player playing in the same game as you. It was really interesting, and you could play a scout, an assault person, anti-tank, medic, engineer. What else do you need? So you can form a squad like that, or you can form a heavy squad, depending on if you have the players needed to form a squad. You go on the server and you play, and that's how people played it. Unfortunately, the only drawback is, you got 14-year-olds playing this game, and they're more used to playing zombies rather than tactics. So you get that drawback, and maybe the online experience is not that good because you go online and people are cursing and swearing. But it is a World War II level tactical game that allows you to have the experience of being an infantryman, of being a tanker, or even flying an airplane in certain instances. Very immersive, and you can get really carried away. Here, according to the Wikipedia article, there's fighter aircraft that I've experienced, bombers I've experienced, capital ships, at times submarines I haven't, aircraft carriers I haven't, coastal artillery I did, tanks, APCs, and jeeps I've played, anti-aircraft guns I've played, and machine guns I've played. And mostly on the Western front is what I was playing with Battlefield. Now, to make things even more interesting, there were back in the day, and we're talking about, is a 2002 first-person shooter, so that's now more than 20 years ago. To make things more interesting, there was also a mod for this game called Forgotten Hope, and I found it. Now, I'm not too sure if you can play this on a computer, on a modern-day computer or not. Again, there are online programs that can test to see if your system actually will be compatible with the game. And you can even Google an answer. I'll give you you can even Google the question, it'll give you an answer. So here's the mod, and basically what the mod does. Forgotten Hope is, let's take a look at the images. It makes things more realistic. So there's a group of programmers out there that, for example, here they modeled the swordfish, the Stug. Let's take a look at the Stug. Pretty interesting, right? And the sights as well are extraordinary, meaning the sights of the individual weapon. Forgotten Hope. And there were quite a few people playing this game during that time. Let's see, what the heck is this? This is the back end of a Panzer. And again, there are no inappropriate markings anywhere. So you can be in Germany and play everything. Yep. So Forgotten Hope was a Battlefield 1942 mod. It was aimed to make everything more interesting. And more recently, but I did wait up to 2 years since I had found out about it. I found out about its development for Second Front. And I designed a couple of scenarios for Second Front. And as you can see, I believe I have an online friend that's playing it, Paul Tomlinson. And this is a you go, I go turn-based game. It models itself under Squad Leader and Advanced Squad Leader. The AI here is magnificent. Okay, so here's the deal. The graphics in Second Front are a bit more primitive than the graphics in Close Combat or Combat Mission or even Battlefield with Forgotten Hope, the Forgotten Hope mod. However, the AI is excellent, and the reason I guess why it's excellent is because the other drawback for this game is that it's single player. You're always playing against yourself and the AI. With 40 infantry units and 216 types of vehicles at your disposal. And that's an animation of how the vehicles behave. And you can fight Eastern Front, Western Front, and Desert. So this is, I've done other videos about this game, so I'm getting the idea that I am probably lagging with my audio. Well, forgive me if there's any technical issues here. And now, last but not least, VASSAL. And what does VASSAL stand for? Now, a lot of folks have done VASSAL videos and even set up starter files. And I even made a video exclusively, I think, or I don't remember whether it was exclusively about whether VASSAL is a video game or not, or I asked the question in a previous video as to whether VASSAL is a video game or not. So VASSAL, what VASSAL stands for those of you that are not familiar, and I cannot take it for granted that you are familiar with VASSAL, I would assume that, for the benefit of those that are not familiar with VASSAL, we'll do a little dive into it. So what VASSAL stands for is Virtual Advanced Squad Leader, and the whole point to this program is basically to allow you to play the actual board game remotely. So you can log on to a server and play the game. Play the game meaning instead of actually using physical boards, you're using virtual boards. You connect to the server, you find an opponent, and you take turns and use a communication software like Discord or even Skype or Facebook Messenger, and you can either have visual audio communication or just audio communication. You can also play by mail, but I think playing by email or mail rather is a completely different ball game. I prefer to play live as if it was a actual board game. That's the experience I enjoy. I would never consider playing by email. So everything you need to play you have here except the rule book. And the rule book, as I've noted in other videos, you can either buy the paperback copy, the actual one, or the ebook. The ebook has all the nationalities in it. You can actually also buy all three if you want to, if you can afford it and it's in your budget. And once you buy the ebook, the good thing is I guess you can transfer it from one computer to another. In my And in my personal plays, I more often use the paperback copy. And then if I am playing a side where it has a unusual weapon that I'm not familiar with, I'll use the ebook to look up the notes for the particular vehicle and get it done. So most of my videos are done using VASSAL as opposed to cardboard. And quite luckily, my game collection has not been damaged. So we got our count of lucky stars, and lo and behold, even yesterday we got a little package. Check this out. This is Roger McGowan's book, and I'll do a video on it in due time. It's a huge book. I mean, if you take a look at it, like, see, just to give you a scale of it, this is what, around a more, let's see, in length, there's 5, 10, and 10 and a half inches. Let's get the exact measurements here. Oh, well, it's over 12, it's over a foot long. It's over a foot long. Excellent graphics. I'll make a video off my phone for that one, because I can't show it to you with the little screen. And I'll do a video from my perspective. I think Mark Ruggiero over at Clark Commando made a video on it. Artie made a video on it. I'm not sure who else made a video on it. I certainly will try and make a video on it from my perspective being the games that I collected that Roger McGowan actually worked on covers. So that'll be my video and the ones that I would put on my bucket list or my wish list. Yeah. Anyway, guys, take care. Have a good one. Please forgive me if I don't look that enthusiastic and I look beaten down and drained. I think I will overcome all these challenges. You know, it's hard, but such is life in the new normal. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thank you to all the new subscribers. This is what really gives me the energy to sit here in front of my computer and do a little video and impart my knowledge to you. And I hope it gives you a lot of pleasure and enjoyment to watch me play. And for my food videos, my little short videos, my foodie stuff, hey, I'll do some when the occasion arises. Hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. If you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments below. But again, I want to end this video on a note of gratitude for everyone that's been with the channel since the get-go, and the new subscribers. Thank you for liking and subscribing and your viewership and letting your friends know about this channel. Take care, and I'll see you soon.